Hey everyone, wrapping up here at BBVA Compass Stadium, the inaugural home opener. Houston Dynamo walking away with a 1-0 victory. Brad Davis with a ripper. I loved it. It was nice. Left foot, upper V. What are your reactions on the game?
Well, I think you have to first look at the fans. I mean, all the fans came out and they were sold out here. More than 22,000 fans here, all wearing orange. I think as we were coming to the game, I kept thinking, well, I'm probably going to see some people not in orange. I saw 2 DC United fans and about 22,000 other orange-clad Houston Dynamo fans. And obviously, it took a little time, but they finally got the goal and they're going to go home happy.
Yeah, did you manage to stop by Orange Avenue? Because that was pretty nuts. That's where the fans were gathering before the game, drinking, eating, just partying, really. I saw kids all ages from two months to like grandparents just loving to be here. It was pretty awesome.
And all of them wearing their Brian Ching jerseys, their Brad Davis jerseys, and a lot of history here. This is a team that's only existed now for what, 6-7 years, but they go into the history that they actually have. Don't forget, 2 MLS Cup champions. They also had Craig Weibel was here. Eddie Robinson was here. Wade Barrett, who's an assistant coach. Pat Onsat, who's a goalkeeper coach now for DC United. They were all honored before the game as well. So a nod to history that the Houston Dynamo do have.
You mentioned the throwbacks. We also caught a San Jose throwback kid. It was pretty impressive.
Going way back with this club.
Yep. Speaking of Ching, you mentioned Ching. He struggled today. He had a couple major opportunities that he might have blown.
Yeah, he had some good chances, some good looks at goal. I thought he was going to get one that came across actually right near us where we're standing on the field, and he couldn't quite get his foot in the way he wanted. He put it over the net. But you know what? I think it didn't matter in this one because he was such a spiritual part of this team on this day in particular. I think that Houston will say, look, we didn't have a very good first half. Neither did DC United, frankly. DC United really had a tough day all around. They looked like they were tired, especially by the end of it. They were worn out. Perry Kitchen's injury in the first half, I think, really hurt them because they lost that centrifuge in the middle that he has been, and they had to use a sub early in the game, so that hurt them a lot. But after the second half, Dynamo came out, a couple of subs. They were important too. Colin Clark and Luis Camargo came on, and all of a sudden the Dynamo were a different team.
They were on fire, that's for sure. I was in the DC United locker room, and I think every single person that we talked to in there said that the heat got to them in a way that they weren't really anticipating. So you could see that. They played that way. Towards the end, when Dynamo was hammering them, you could see that DC United was definitely a little spent.
And the amazing thing is that the locals here have been telling us that today was actually a mild day. There wasn't too much humidity. It wasn't too hot. So imagine what it's going to be later in the season. But ultimately, it doesn't matter. 1-0 victory for Houston. Sold out stadium here at BBVA Compass for the opener. I think everyone goes home happy on this one.
Yeah, except D-Row. Yeah, D-Row. You can't talk about DC United and Houston without mentioning Dwayne De Rosario, who obviously was emotionally invested in this game, and he tends to do well against his former clubs. Not so much today.
No, it was a tough day for D-Row. He never really got much space, but all credit to the Dynamo fans for when D-Row came out on the field, they cheered him and they gave him a standing ovation. So lots of class there for that.
Well, that's it for myself, Temryss and Greg Lawless. We'll see you next time.